Gravity. It's the most fundamental, most inescapable law of our universe. It holds galaxies together, keeps our feet planted firmly on the ground, and sets the limits for, well, everything. It's the ultimate cosmic rule. But what if it was not? For centuries, controlling gravity, real anti-gravity, that was pure science fiction, a fantasy for blockbuster movies and faraway futures. But that barrier, the one we all thought was absolute, is starting to show some cracks. Lately, headlines have been popping up suggesting the impossible is, well, possible. We are seeing jaw-dropping experiments and revolutionary machines emerge from the shadows of secretive labs. So, have we finally done it? Has science finally invented real anti-gravity? To find the answer, we need to do some digging. We are going to uncover a secret history of forgotten objects, brilliant minds, and the razor-thin line between a breakthrough and a bust. To understand how to break a law, you first have to understand why it's law in the first place. For centuries, we pictured gravity as a simple force, like an invisible string pulling things down. Then in the 20th century, Albert Einstein came along and completely flipped the script. He showed us that gravity is not really a force. It's a consequence of the shape of the universe itself. According to his theory of general relativity, massive things like planets and stars don't pull on other objects. They literally bend and warp the fabric of space-time around them. Think of it like putting a bowling ball on a stretched out rubber sheet. It creates a big dip. Now if you roll a marble nearby, it's going to fall into that curve. That's gravity. This revelation made the dream of anti-gravity infinitely harder. How do you turn off a curve in the fabric of reality? The energy you need to flatten that curve is astronomical. It's why we need these colossal fuel-guzzling rockets just to escape Earth's gravity for even a little while. The barrier was not just high. Einstein had shown us it was woven into the very fabric of the universe. And yet the dream just would not die. For decades, we have heard whispers of secret government programs and lone inventors who claimed they'd cracked the code. Stories about things like Project Green Glow and military interest in modifying gravity have kept the rumors alive, but mostly this stuff stayed on the fringes, dismissed as sci-fi, because nobody could get past Einstein's giant hurdle. Lately though, you have probably seen some incredible videos and flashy headlines claiming the barrier is broken, but this is where we need to put on our skeptic hats. Are we looking at real anti-gravity or something else entirely? Maybe you have seen those clips of a small disk just hovering, locked in a place over a weird surface, totally stable, looking like it's straight out of a movie. This is called quantum locking, and it gets passed off as anti-gravity all the time, but it's not. It's actually a super powerful type of magnetic levitation. The superconductor disk creates a magnetic field that perfectly mirrors the one underneath it, locking it in midair. It's an incredible piece of physics for sure, but it's using magnetism to fight gravity, not getting rid of gravity itself. Then you have got things like China's artificial moon facility, built to simulate the moon's low gravity. Again, the headlines are amazing, but the tech behind it uses powerful magnetic fields to make things feel lighter. Helping researchers, it's a low-gravity simulator, not a low-gravity creator. And maybe the most infamous chapter in this whole saga involves a handful of US Navy patents from an engineer named Salvatore Pace. These patents described some pretty wild stuff, from a room temperature superconductor to a craft that could supposedly reduce its own inertia by generating, and I am quoting here, high-frequency gravitational waves. This sounded exactly like the breakthrough everyone was waiting for. The Navy actually spent over $500,000 looking into this Bayes effect, but after 3 years, the official verdict came back. The fact could not be proven. The project was shut down. So, if all these clues, the quantum levitation, the simulators, the secret military patents, if they are not the real deal, is this whole search a bust, or are the real breakthroughs happening somewhere else, far away from the splashy headlines? The truth is, a real revolution is defying gravity is happening right now. It's just a lot more subtle and way more scientifically interesting than sci-fi ever predicted. It all starts with knowing the difference between anti-gravity and microgravity. Anti-gravity means switching gravity off. Proof: microgravity, on the other hand, is what astronauts experience. It's that feeling of weightlessness you get from being in a constant state of free fall, and we have gotten really good at creating it right here on Earth. Take NASA's Zero Gravity Research Facility. They don't have an anti-gravity switch. What they have is a 400-foot deep vacuum-sealed tower. They just drop experiments down it. For about 5 seconds, the experiment is in perfect free fall, experiencing near weightlessness. It's the same idea behind those parabolic flights. You probably know them as the vomit comet. A plane flies in a series of huge arcs, and at the top of each one, everyone inside gets about 20 to 30 seconds of glorious microgravity. These tricks don't break the laws of physics, they just use them cleverly to create a weightless environment. And the research we do in those brief moments is critical. But the real crown jewel in our quest to defy gravity is, of course, the International Space Station. The ISS is not floating because it escaped Earth's gravity, not at all. It's still deep inside Earth's gravitational well. The secret is that it's constantly falling around the Earth at over 17,000 miles per hour. That sideways motion creates a permanent state of microgravity. It's our greatest achievement in learning how to live and work without weight, opening the door for long-term research on everything from how liquids behave to creating new materials. So, that's the proven science. But right on the bleeding edge of what's possible, things start to get blurry. And that's where we meet former NASA engineer Dr. Charles Bohler. His company Exodus Propulsion Technologies claims they have built a device that generates thrust without any propellant. No fuel, no exhaust, nothing. Their tech uses something called asymmetrical electrostatic fields to create a force. And here's the jaw-dropper. They claim their device has produced enough force to actually contract Earth's gravity in a vacuum. Bohler himself calls it a new force, something our current understanding of physics might not account for. But, and this is a big, but they have not been published in a major peer-reviewed science journal. That means the broader scientific community has not been able to independently test and verify any of it yet. And you can bet scientists are skeptical, as they should be. A device like this would seem to violate fundamental laws, like the conservation of momentum. For now, it's a tantalizing claim on the very frontier of science, a bold what if that's still waiting for its proof. So, after all that, where does it leave us? Did we invent real anti-gravity? The honest answer, no, not in the flip a switch and float way science fiction promised us. We cannot just nullify the curve in space-time that keeps our feet on the ground. Not yet, anyway. But saying we have made zero progress misses the real story. We have learned how to trick gravity, to sidestep it, and to dance around it in ways our ancestors could only dream of. We can levitate things with powerful invisible magnetic forces. We create our own little pockets of weightlessness by dropping things down towers and flying in giant arcs. We built a permanent home in the sky that's in a constant state of falling around our entire planet. The real breakthroughs are not about building floating cities tomorrow. They are how the slow, brilliant, step-by-step journey of mastering the universe's most fundamental force. The tech we are perfecting in microgravity on the ISS is what's going to let us build new things on the Moon and Mars. And the super speculative frontier work from people like Dr. Bohler, even though it's unproven, hints at a future for population that we can barely even imagine. This revolution is not one single invention. It's a complete shift in how we relate to the universe. The dream of anti-gravity is not just a fantasy anymore. It's become a roadmap, a guide for pushing further, building bigger and going faster than ever before. The only question left is, where will it take us first? If you could get your hands on a real gravity device for just one day, what's the first thing you do or build? Drop your wildest ideas in the comments below. And for more journeys into the science that's shaping our future, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell.